we're going to build a WordPress website from scratch. And when I say from scratch, I mean exactly from scratch. So we're going to go ahead and locate a domain. We're going to get hosting started. We're going to find a registrar that we're going to use. A registrar is like a hosting company like Godaddy or 101 or HostGator. We're going to go through all that, build a WordPress website, and you're going to see how easy and how straightforward it is to put together a professional WordPress website for your business or other concerns. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we want to do is go to a registrar, get a domain, get a hosting company, get all of that connected. And the one I recommend the most, just because they have just the best support in the industry, is Godaddy.com. So let's go to Godaddy.com. And once we're here, we're going to find a domain that we want to use for our host, for our website. So let's go ahead and just make up a name. So we're going to call this building WordPress.com. Let's see if that's available. We'll click search domain. And it says that building WordPress.com is taken. So let's add something else. Building WordPress class. How's that? So building WordPress class.com. And let's see if that's available. Okay, that is available, and it's actually $1 for the first year, so that's actually good. But I want to see if I can shorten it, because a shorter domain just makes it more memorable. Build WordPress class.com. Let's click search to see if that's available. Build WordPress class.com. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll build a WordPress. This is the domain that we'll be using. This is the domain that our site will be based on. So let's go ahead and get it. And they actually have a special. So again, that is good. Actually, it's not as special. It's just $1 a month. But let's proceed with it. We'll add that to cart. So now we have a domain. Now we're just going to do this for 1 year. Now, the next thing that we need is a host. And what is a host? A host is like land. It's the land that you need to build your house on. And I think this is a good analogy, and it's an analogy that I give to most of my clients. But imagine you want to build a house. You want to build a website. Your house is like your website, right? You need land to build it on. And so a hosting company like GoDaddy is a company that provides land on which to build your house. So we're going to get a host. A host is just space on the internet in which we can put the files that make up our website. Many companies offer hosting environments. GoDaddy is just one of them. And again, the reason why I decided to go with GoDaddy in this particular instance is that their customer support is top-notch. So let's go ahead and find their hosting page. And because we're building a WordPress website, let's go ahead and just select or state that we're looking for a WordPress website. So we're going to look here in the WordPress offering. And we're going to select the basic one here, which is the one for $6.99 a month. And we're going to click buy. Now we only need this for a short period of time, but usually your minimum is 12 months because you want to at least hold your website or have your host for a year. You can have it for longer, but again, if you're running a business, you want to give it time to sort of grow. But in this instance, because this is a class that we're running, we're going to do it for 1 month. And we'll click continue. So now we have the domain, which is the name. You can imagine the domain like the address. It points to your house. So for instance, if someone wants to get to your physical house, you need to give them your address, 123 Anywhere Street. And if anyone looks up 123 Anywhere Street, it points to your house. A domain is the same. So a domain is like mybusiness.com. When someone types in mybusiness.com, it points to the location of your files, which is, in case of the internet, your house. So here, let's kind of look it over again. So we have the basic WordPress. We have the build WordPressclass.com. That's the name, that's the domain. That's going to be the name of our website. And then we have the hosting environment, which is the land that we're going to build our website on. And we are ready to pay. So let's go ahead and click ready to pay. Now, going through this process, GoDaddy wants us to create an account. So what we're going to do is simply create an account with GoDaddy. It's just a straightforward process of entering some details so that GoDaddy has our information in the creation of our account. Now I'm just going to enter a temporary email, larrydotry@gmail.com. I'm going to name this one and we're going to use the suggested password from computer. And let's click create account. Okay, so we've created our account. So we just have to enter a bit more of our details. I'm going to put my name here. And my phone number. Now you might ask why GoDaddy needs your phone number, but this is what you'll use to log into GoDaddy when you have to add additional functions or features to your hosting package. So go ahead and enter a number that they can definitely locate you at. And as to my address, I'm just going to enter an address here. And click save. And then here we have our payment options. So we can either choose to pay by card, PayPal, or check. And all of this is pretty straightforward. So we're going to move forward through this here. So I'm just going to click on PayPal. And I'm going to pause this video as I enter my details here. Once you go through entering your details, then it should bring you to the screen where you can click complete purchase. And we're just going to wait for that to process. And once that's done, it thanks us for making the purchase. And we can move on to creating our website. So this next page where it says managed WordPress, and what exactly that means is that, because there's many ways to go about WordPress. One, you can just get the land yourself, so get the space and then install the files to make WordPress and then connect it to a database, which is a good thing to know. But a lot of hosting companies like HostGator, 101, GoDaddy, and numerous others are now basically doing that for you because WordPress powers a lot of the internet. It powers almost 40% of the internet. So hosting companies know that it's what people use the most. So they're just kind of including and making all the hard work of installing WordPress easier by doing it for you. And so when they do it for you, they say it's managed WordPress. But so we are here at this page. So let's go ahead and create our site. And WordPress offers us, or rather GoDaddy offers us, a number of options as to how to go about building our website. We can use default WordPress. We can migrate an existing WordPress site or browse their WordPress templates to see which one that we would like to use. But what I want to do is just start from the default. So let's go ahead and use the default WordPress, because that's going to install just the basic WordPress. And then what we're going to do is enter a WordPress username and password. This is important because this is the information that we will use to log into our WordPress website. So I'm going to call this the WordPress Classroom. And I'm also going to use the same username for the password. This is usually not recommended, but I want to do that. And I would not recommend using the same username for the password that is asking to be hacked. But for this instance, it certainly works out. So let's see if GoDaddy will allow me to proceed forward. Nope, it wants me to change it. So let's go ahead and make it more in alignment with what they're looking for. And what I'll do is just notate this somewhere so I don't forget. So we have the username, it's WordPress Classroom, and we have the password as this. All right, so we'll click continue and it'll take us onto the next page. So this page is important or not important, depends on where you are. So for GoDaddy will try to discern where it's going to host your data. Now, if you are in Europe, Germany, France, or any of those countries, they're usually dealing with these regulations that their government has instituted as regards privacy and so forth. I forget what it's called. It's called, yeah, let's see if we can find it out here. European Data Regulation, GDPR. So you can read about GDPR. So it's basically a regulation that the government in the EU put forth basically to protect how information is moved around. So people's information, people's personally identifiable information like name, phone number, and so forth. So at any rate, most companies have complied. And so if you are in Europe or countries in Europe and the EU, then GoDaddy will probably immediately recommend that you host your data here. But since we are in the US, we'll just leave it as it is, North America, and we can move on. Now, GoDaddy will just take a few minutes just to put things together, get things sorted out, and install our WordPress website on the land or the hosting space that we just purchased. So let's wait for that to sort itself out. Voila, and our site is now ready to edit. So we now have the WordPress site. So we can we have two choices. We can go into the hosting dashboard, which we will do. So I'm just going to open another tab right here, and we can go directly into editing our WordPress website. And I'm just going to click on this link here, which opens a tab here. And this is our WordPress website. So for all intents and purposes, this is our website. Now, as you can see, it's currently using a temporary path. And once at the end of this, as we go through this, we're going to change this path so that it actually shows the domain that we purchased. And this is the hosting dashboard. So this is basically the back end of what we purchased on Godaddy. Now, we can either go into the front end, into our website, or we can go into the hosting dashboard. But let's firstly get some things configured here on the WordPress website. So this is the front end of our website, and we can go directly into our back end by simply clicking on this link here because we are already logged in. And this is the back end of your WordPress website. So the things that we do on the back end here is going to affect what we see on the front end. So this is the front end. The front end is what is publicly available to visitors. The back end is only what is available to you, and it's password protected. So we have our page, we have our media, which is the media is where the media function of WordPress basically holds all of our files, images, PDFs that we use to make up our website. And the way WordPress is built, it really makes it easy to manage everything. And in fact, this is actually WordPress is one of many CMS systems, and CMS stands for Content Management System, and that's what WordPress is. It's in the same category as Joomla, Drupal, and many others, but WordPress has just become the most widely used. And one of the best things about WordPress is that if we go into appearance and themes, we can totally change how our website looks. So see what we have here? This is our website, but let's say we wanted it to look different. We can use a different theme. So let's use this one. Let's activate this one here. And it totally changes how everything looks. Themes are like clothes. So it's, or maybe if we remain with our prior analogy, it's like a new paint. It's like a new exterior for our home. But let's use clothes. It's like a new shirt. It's like a new jeans. It's like a new design on our body. And that's what the themes are. It helps you to present your content better in a way that fits your brand or fits the objective that you're aiming for. So having changed the theme into what we have here by simply clicking activate, if we go back into the front end of the website and we click refresh, now it's different. It looks totally different. It's just different presentation, right? But let's do this. Let's go into the back end, and together you and I are going to get this sorted out. So we're going to add a domain, and as you can see, GoDaddy makes it front and center. So let's go ahead and click add a domain, and because we already have the domain which we purchased, that's what we are going to attach. And there was the one that we copied, so there it is right here. But again, so because we purchased the domain, the name, and the hosting on GoDaddy together, when I go into my products page and go to manage under manage WordPress, then this is the screen that initially met us. So we're just going to click add domain, and we're going to enter the domain that we purchased simply. So that was this one here, and that's it right here. And we're going to click add domain. And what's going to happen is that this process will go through connecting buildwordpressclass.com with our host. Then it just asks us, do you own buildwordpressclass.com and want to use it for this hosting? Yes, help me connect it. Connect your domain at Godaddy. Continue to Godaddy. All right, so that's what it says there. So let's go ahead and try the other one. I'm done. Continue setup. And let's click on show more. Okay, so it actually looks like it's there. And immediately GoDaddy has actually connected despite what the prior message says. So this is where our site points to now. So when you type in buildwordpressclass.com, it's going to go to our website here. And as you can see, that's been designated as the primary one. And we can go through this later, but it's been designated as the primary one. So let's go ahead and copy this here. Let's copy that, and then sometimes it takes a few hours or a few minutes for this to propagate throughout their servers. And by propagate, I mean for this to register through their servers, but sometimes it's very quick. So let me just type in buildwordpressclass.com into the URL search bar. And let's see if it's already pointing to our website. Yes, and it is. So now we have our WordPress website. We purchased the domain, we purchased the hosting through GoDaddy, and we just went through the process of connecting the two. So now when you type in buildwordpressclass.com, it comes to our WordPress website. And we're pretty much done with the first part of working with WordPress. Now, the second part is going to be where we actually turn this, because yes, although this looks good, you know, we have different businesses and we want something that better communicates our brand and helps us tell better stories to our visitors, right? So we're going to change this design. We're going to change it into something that looks a lot better, that presents well. And it's actually pretty straightforward. Sometimes I have clients, I build a lot of websites for clients, and that includes WordPress, e-commerce, Drupal. I mean, I'm just a website developer, and I also work on marketing with my clients. And what that all entails is simply helping customers, helping the people who you want to engage better understand the products and services that you have to offer. And it's important that you present your information well, your content well, and that everything looks good. And so we're going to go here and look for themes that make our website look good. So there are many places that you can go to find themes. Now, if you remember, we came into appearance and themes to look at different themes that we can use on our website, but there are a bunch of places on the internet where you can find really good themes. Additionally, for my clients, usually I will design my team and I will design a whole different presentation, a whole different design for them, for their business. Now that does include some cost, and that's why I usually recommend, if you're starting out, go ahead and use a theme that fits what you're looking for best, and then in the future, as revenue comes in, you can then put some capital into designing your own look and feel. But I mean, there are so many options out there as far as how to where to find themes for your WordPress website. And one of those places that I usually go and recommend to clients is Theme Forest. You might already know of this actually, but you have just a lot of different themes that are designed by other people, and you can then go ahead and change it. It's basically the same as, you know, Polo or Nike. They design shoes. Now I can design my own shoes, I can design my own t-shirt and jeans, but it's going to take me a lot of time to design those things. So instead, I can just go and purchase a shirt that says I love the beach, because I like what that shirt says and it agrees with what I'm thinking. And that's what a theme is. So you can certainly design your own theme with its own look and feel, certainly, but if you're usually for my clients who are looking for their own design, they have the money, they have the capital for a presentation. But guess what? You don't even have to spend money on designing your own theme. If you look at my website, my own personal website, a lot of it is my design, but the framework and the design architecture was actually something I purchased because I thought, you know what, I like the black text. I like the way the content is designed, and what I did was just design everything else. I put in the color, I put in I drew the images, but the structure is something that I was actually able to borrow from elsewhere. But let's go into WordPress themes here within Theme Forest, and I mean, you are able to build and make your site into the most sophisticated, professional looking website that there is. So we have so many. So let's just look at this one here, the first one here. So we can preview this theme and we can actually use this theme for our website. So let's go ahead and click on one of the demos here, and it's just amazing how easy it is that this can be our website. So we can just buy this theme, upload it to our website, and this becomes our website. And then here's what you can do, because why not? Then all you do is just change the elements. Some elements you need, some elements you don't need, right? So you can remove the elements you don't need and keep the elements that you want, change them around, change the phone number, change the content to say what it wants, to say what you want, change the picture, change everything, but you still have the structure is there. The blueprint is there. You just have changed the elements. It's like using the blueprint they used, but then changing things around so that it fits your brand, your message, and your target market better. But we can actually buy this theme. Now, myself, I already have an account on Envatomac on Theme Forest. So what I'm going to do is just log into my account, and we're going to look through the themes that I already have, and we're going to download a theme, right? And we're going to install it into WordPress. And you'll see how, just like that, we've built a professional WordPress website that's unique. And I say unique because there are millions of themes out there. There's very little chance that your theme and somebody else's theme will overlap. In addition, the fact that you're going to change the look and feel of the theme that you purchase ensures that there's zero chance that your theme matches with somebody else's, because we're going to go through and change the color. We're going to go through and change the content and the elements to fit us, to fit what we need. So yeah, so in fact, I would recommend this to 95% of my clients and 95% of people out there. Just go ahead and buy a theme that fits what you're looking for, and then change it around a bit to fit you better. So let's go ahead and log in here, and we'll find a theme. And just bear with me one moment while I locate my password. So here is some of the things I've purchased over the years. As you can see, I've purchased a lot of themes over the years. And what I do is that for clients who are not looking for or who don't have the capital for a wholly designed, custom designed website, then we can build on a framework. And there was a coach who I worked with who I used this one for, and I just really liked this one, and they liked it as well, because the color scheme and the structure and the way the content was presented looked very good. It's only $69, but really provided the look and feel and the structure of information that we were looking for. So let's go ahead and look at the preview of it. And this might be the one that we actually use. Now, this is a theme. And so what we can do is just go ahead and download the files for this theme since I already purchased it. And then change the content, change the background, change everything to make it our own, right? So that's one of many themes. And you can see just how beautiful these themes are. And if you were to use it for your website, I mean, it would really set you apart from your competitors. Let's look at another particular theme. This is one for landscaping. So you'll find templates that match various schemes, various themes, right? So if you own a landscaping company, you can purchase this one here and use it. But for our purposes, let's look for one within the files that I have already purchased, and let's see which one is going to fit us best. So just looking through here, we even have directory themes. We have just all sorts of themes that we can use to better present what we're building. And you know what? I actually like this one-page theme. I really like it a lot. So I think that might be the one that we use. Let's go ahead and use this one. This is the one-page theme, and we're going to download everything about it just to use it. So this is a guy that designed the theme. It's a pretty good theme. So let's see if we can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and download the files for this theme since I already have it. So I'm just going to click download. And when you sign up for ThemeForest, you can, when you buy themes, you always have it forever until either it's no longer good. It's like sometimes themes go stale. So sometimes developers may not update their themes for 10 years. If that's the case, then it's not going to work, you know, because it's a 10-year-old theme, 10-year-old functionalities, and 10-year-old code. And we want to always be looking for something that's not going to be easily hacked. And usually, as you see here, actually, this one was recently updated last year, so it's actually still good. If this said that it was updated in 2010, then you probably don't want to use it. But very few themes are strong enough to last 10 years, and usually, if it hasn't been updated in a long time, the administration at ThemeForest will just remove it because it then becomes a hazard. But yeah, so let's download this. I'm going to just click all files and documentation. Okay, so let's see where that's saved. That's saved in my downloads folder. So what I'm going to do now is go back to our WordPress website, buildwordpressclass.com. And I think I need to log in again. So in order to log into your WordPress website, you'll just type in the domain name, buildwordpressclass.com. You do a / and then type in wp-admin. Now there's a way to change this so it makes it harder for someone to find how to log into your site, but you don't have to worry about it. Most WordPress websites leave it like this, and you really don't have to worry about it, because even if we go into the backend here or go into the backend space, we still have to enter a password. So the password that we had built was this one here. So let's go ahead and enter the username that we have, and let's go ahead and enter the password. And let's cross our fingers and hope that that works. Okay, so maybe we entered something incorrectly, so let's try it again. I click paste, click login. Okay, so it's saying that we're not able to log in because the username is incorrect. So sometimes this could happen. I probably entered this in some way incorrectly. So let me make sure I have everything in order here. All right. So what I'm actually going to do is go through the back end of Godaddy to log into the website. I think that will be better. So from the back end here, I'm going to click edit website. And if this is all confusing, just the more you do it, the easier it'll get as far as just navigating back and forth. You generally don't have to go into the Godaddy backend, but it's just what I'm doing here. And also, together, I'm trying to keep this realistic as possible, so not going to edit or cut too much, but just to show you that when you're building a website, really a whole lot of it is navigation administration, really knowing where to find what you need to find and locating those items and actually remembering it. So let me go into users to see actually what we have here. So yeah, it is WordPress Classroom. So I'm surprised, or maybe we are already logged in, that's why. Let me just refresh the page here. Okay, so that's WordPress Classroom. And let me go back here and look for the password. So we have WordPress Classroom and the password. I guess I have to set a new password. So let's go ahead and create a new password. So now this profile will have a new password, and let me update the password I have here. And let me try to log in again. Okay, perfect. So now we are logged into the back end, the way that we should always log into the back end of our WordPress website. So we have our theme that we had selected. And one question that I've had people ask before was, even though we have our theme here, is it going to look like this when we first install it? And that's a very good question I've gotten in the past. And what theme developers have done now is to basically include one-click install. So because this is what we see when we look at the presentations of themes. And usually that's what we want to have on our website, so that we can just change things around and get things to what we want. So this theme is like that as well. It's just a one-click install that will make our site look exactly like this, and then we can change things around appropriately to get it to what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and install the theme that we had just downloaded. We're going to go into appearances, we're going to go into themes, and then we'll click on add new here. And then we'll click on upload theme as well. This one looks good, but we'll click on upload theme, and then we'll choose file. And we'll look for the theme that we just downloaded, which is this one here. Actually, I forgot to do one thing, and I'm going to do that now. What I need to do is unpack this file. So what does that mean? I just need to get it out of the zip format here. So I'm going to just double click. Okay, so now we have it. There it is. And that's the actual theme. So this is like a package. And when you double click, it's a package because you see the ZIP, zip. Imagine something being zipped up. So when you double click, it opens it up and it shows all the files. So now we're good to go. And even because we're here, we can either go through choose the file, and locate where the file is, which is here, or we can just drag and drop this file into the box here. But anyway, so we have it. And now you're probably asking, why are we not unzipping this file? Well, because this is the main package from ThemeForest, and so when we unzip it, it shows us all the files. This is the actual theme file, and it's already been zipped, and we can just go ahead and drag and drop this into WordPress, and WordPress will actually unzip it itself. So that's why we're not unzipping this one. And I just clicked install, and we're just going to wait for this to process through. Okay, so theme is successfully installed. Perfect. Let's go ahead and click activate. But before I do that, let me show you the themes pages now, because that will include the theme that we just activated, that we just installed. So you can have a bunch of themes here that you alternate between, but you really just want to have one, because you don't want your customers or your visitors to come and see that that look has changed, from day to day. It's like, it's like if you went to your friend's house and see that their face has changed from day to day, that would be quite disconcerting. But so you want to keep one, and just keep one theme, unless you're still working on your website. So let's go ahead and click activate here. All right, so now theme is activated, and then it's asking us that there are some additional plugins that are required for this particular theme. Let's go ahead and install those plugins by simply clicking a button here. Okay, and there are additional plugins that are just pertinent to this theme that are necessary. So let me just select all of it here and click install. And we will wait for all of those to install, and we'll move forward. Okay, so those installed, or those are installing at this point. So let's go ahead and wait for that to go through. Voila. Now that was pretty fast. So as you can see here, it says all installations have been completed. So let's just go ahead and we'll click return to required plugins installer to make sure everything's been installed. So installed but not activated. So let's go ahead and activate all of these plugins. All right, so now they've all been successfully installed. And let's go into the theme itself and get the one-click install running. Oops, we went into somewhere else. Let me go back, but actually let's look at how the site looks like now. And so that's the site. Not what we're looking for fully, right? So let's make sure, actually let's remove all of these other tabs first so things are easier for us. Okay, so that's our website. So we want to make it look just like the demo. And different themes will have different buttons. You have to click for that to happen. But usually it's pretty straightforward. So let's locate where the button is for our theme. So let's go into theme settings. And then what we want to do is locate the button for the one-click install. Let's actually see if this theme has it. It should, so it's just a matter of locating precisely where it is. Let's look at block patterns. Let's look at the customize screen. And in this instance, we have to go into the documentation. Okay, so according to the documentation of this theme, now this is an older theme, and I think that's why we don't have the one-click install, but let's look at the documentation of this theme here, and basically we have to use the HTML to upload the files. I don't want to go through this process simply because most of the themes that you'll be buying from ThemeForest will have the one-click install. This other process is just one of many ways that you can install the demo site. And it's slightly more involved, just slightly, but let's perhaps look at another theme. Yep, because this is looking like I have to go ahead and do this one by one. So let's find another theme. I think that's going to be the best thing here. And again, I think this presents the opportunity to review just how quick and easy it is for us to switch in and out of themes, right? So let's go to downloads and look at the themes I've purchased in the past. I think maybe even this landscaping theme may be ideal, perhaps what we're looking for. Let me just make sure it has the one-click install. Okay, there it is. So let's go ahead and just get this theme so that we can be on our way. We'll download this one. And in this instance, I think I'll just download the installable WordPress file. Okay, so that's downloaded. That's this one here. And then we'll just go back to our website. And in our website, we will install a new theme. So we'll add a new theme, upload theme, choose file. And where are my files? Okay, so over here. And there it is, this one here. We'll click install. And we'll just wait for that to install. It takes about 5 to 10 seconds sometimes, and sometimes 15 to 20 seconds, but just depends on how large the theme is. But usually it's pretty quick. All right, so it seems like it's done, which is a good thing. All right, so theme is installed successfully. So let's go ahead and activate this theme. And then finally, we will engage the one-click install. Now, in some of the newer themes, it does ask for a purchase code. So let's go ahead and get the purchase code. The purchase code is just when you purchase a theme, it includes a purchase code. And let me show you where you'll find it. And again, ThemeForest is just one place where you buy themes. There are other places where you buy themes that won't have as much security features, but ThemeForest has been around for years. I mean, it's almost as old as WordPress. So you'll find the best themes here. So the purchase code, let's look for that here. That will be right here. Actually, we only need the text. Okay, so this is the purchase code. And I just copied it, so I'm going to paste it in here and click register. All right. And then we'll click continue to required plugins. And if you have any questions as you build your own website, certainly feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via my own website, via Facebook. I have a Facebook page that's public and open. And you can reach out to me via other means. Some of you might know my contact from WhatsApp, so feel free to, and I'll do my best to help. So these are the required plugins. So I'm going to go ahead and click install. Now you see how one-click install can work. It just basically just guides you through the process. And initially we went through and purchased a domain and hosting. Now we're just going through and changing the look of our website. And you can see just how, again, it's just click administration of navigation. So basically finding and locating and thinking through what you want to do. And the tools are already there. So all the tools are there. It's just a matter of us having the patience to go through the various click-throughs that are necessary, which is what most of our work is in the corporate world today, but that's another story. But let's wait for this to install all the plugins, and then we'll come back to the next step, and we are almost done with the look and feel of our website. All right, so we've gone through and installed all the plugins here, except for the WooCommerce, which we usually don't need. It's if you're going to use WordPress as an e-commerce website, which I would not recommend. I would instead recommend Shopify, but that's a whole different point. But since we have the bulk of the plugins installed, let's go to import demo. And we'll start importing the content. So we'll click on this one, import. And we'll have to import all of these, just this, and we should be good to go. Because right now, this is how our website looks, and slowly it's going to turn into this and better. So you can see it's already changing. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead and import the Ninja form contacts and other details. Next, let's import the slider revolution details, and let's import the widget, and let's import the last of the items. All right, so let's see how the website looks now. Voila! We have a professional website that we just built in about 30 minutes. So as you can see, this is Build WordPress Classroom. Now, what we can do now is go ahead and start changing things so that it matches what we want, right? So this may not be a landscaping website. It might be a coaching website or something. So we can change things around. You can change this. Usually sometimes for additional, what may be required is just kind of sort of change the framework a bit, even just the design framework a bit. But as you can see, here it is. So if you go to buildwordpressclassroom.com, it's here. This is what you'll see. So then your question probably is now, how do we go about changing these items? Well, very good question. from here, we can just click Edit Page and start making changes to various parts of the website. Let's go ahead and launch Vantam Builder, because that's what the site is built on. And we can start looking at various aspects of things that we need to change. But firstly, let me go over a few things, because this website is built with many different elements. So this is a slider, and this slider is a plugin, and it has features. It has its own setting. This is also has its own setting. This we can just easily change, but you'll see sometimes there'll be various elements that have their own settings. This is the pricing element has its own settings, but basically from the back end of WordPress, that's where we can then start making these changes as we need to. Some themes will come with various builders. So builders are like Elementor, and Elementor you're probably familiar with if you've ever played with WordPress. Elementor is a popular builder. Elementor is another framework that you attach onto WordPress that allows you to easily create designs and move things around easier. And this one is a Vantam builder. Do we want to go for a tour? No. They're generally the same. But as you can see, as we navigate over various elements, we have the option of editing column, etc. So for instance, let's look at this one here. We handle everything for you. We can change this and say, so as you can see, we are changing the content right then and there. This one here, why don't we kind of change a few things around here? Maybe even the top. I don't like this grass feature here, so I think I'm going to remove that. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's remove that. Okay. Because the grass feature made it look like it was a landscaping site. Now I don't want it to be a landscaping site. So as you can see, we have Learn WordPress Today. We can add more content here just by moving our mouse around. These are things that we can change, and really super easy. We can change the picture to fit what we're looking for, move things around here or there. As you can see, again, if you're familiar with Elementor, it's similar. But even if you're not, just as you hover over items, you're then able to make the appropriate changes, right? Let's say we move this down here. Well, why not? Let's change our title here. We're going to do that, but let's perhaps look at the other pages that are available. And your menus as well, you can change. Everything here is editable either from the back end or via the builder that you see here. But for the most part, and really this covers 99% of building your website on WordPress. As you can see, what we've done thus far is obtain a domain and hosting, connect those two, install WordPress, and installed a theme for our website. And this is the theme here. And based on the theme, you have super easy control or edit access to change things. And that's really what WordPress is. You can add a new theme, change the theme, and easily engage and build a professional website that you or your clients will be happy with. Now, if you have further questions, again, my details are below here, and you can reach me through a number of ways. And I'll be more than happy to try to explain to the best of my ability the features that we've seen here, but I think this webinar and this video is going to really offer some help and provide clarity on building your WordPress website. Thank you. Sign up for my newsletter below by going to www.sambuno.com, and you can find my newsletter here, and just enter your detail here, just your email, and you'll be informed when future webinars are scheduled.